Welcome to What's Your Home Story. This is Vidya. So today we are going to see how to make this hello sign. This is actually a pretty easy DIY project. I already had this piece of leftover barnwood, and it was painted red to start with. So I just painted on top of it the signs. And since this is a covered porch and it doesn't get wet by the rain, I did not seal it. So if you want and if you feel that it might get wet, you can seal it with Mod Podge. I looked online and just looked on whatever fonts that I liked for this hello sign for the alphabets, and I just printed them out on the regular printer paper on my printer. And as you can see, this is what I used. I will post a link to my blog, both in the cards as well as in the description, so you can go and download these letters and you can use them straight away. And I just DIY stencil, and that's how I got the sign. So let's see how we can make this. So the sign is pretty simple to make, and it's very customizable too. You can use a fall sign or a spring sign for seasons, as well as maybe like a gift thanks for Thanksgiving. So as you can see, it's very rustic looking. The paint is looks a little bit worn out, and that's intentional. So I'm using a piece of barnwood that I had, and I printed out the letters for hello in a font that I liked. I will link um, to these templates, to these letters in my blog post. So I'll add that link in the description. So next step is to figure out the placement of the letters. So I am placing my letters on the piece of wood to figure out the spacing. This is exactly one paper after the other, but looks like there's a lot of gap between the E and a O if I go this way. So I'll have to readjust and then come back and then cut out the letters so that I can paint. So I like this placement of the letters. They seem equally distant from each other. I left a small space on the top because I don't want to start from the top itself. And bottom, I have a lot more space here because I'm planning to lean this against the wall in my porch and then maybe add some planters or something in the front. So if I had a letter there all the way till the bottom, that would be hidden. So that's why I left extra space in the bottom. You can also use a plain piece of wood like this, but and paint it whatever color you want the base coat, and then let it dry and then paint the letters on it. So again, it's totally customizable the way you want it. Here I have cut the letters out using an X-Acto knife to make a stencil. I am using painter's tape to hold it down to the piece of wood. In places where I have these cutouts like this, I just use a piece of tape that's rolled onto itself and then stick it down like this. So I'm going to do that for the whole piece and then we'll come back. So now we have completed the stencil, taped it to the piece of wood, and now we have to paint it. So I went through my paint stash and I'm going to use this one. I have some leftover paint in there. This is, I think, Sherwin Williams August Moon. This was our old, the color in our living room and dining room previously. So you can use any paint. I am not going to seal it or apply a sealant over it because I like the worn out look. It's going to be outside anyway on my porch, so it will soon get that weathered old chippy paint look. That's what I'm going for, so I won't apply sealant on it. I'm gonna use these brushes. This is a stencil brush. I think I got it from Michael's many years back. All it is a sponge with a handle so that you have more control of the sponge. Um, I also have a smaller version of the same brush. You can also use these sponge craft brushes. Again, with stenciling, what you do is you dip the paint, the brush in the paint, dab off excess, and then just keep dabbing on top of the stencil. That's all you do. You don't go up or down with the paintbrush. Just dab. That's all. So as I said, we're just dabbing on the paint. My daughter's helping me today. We don't want to put too much pressure, and also we should hold the paper down because this is not a true stencil. We're just using regular paper. Just hold it down with the finger and dab. So we didn't wait for the paint to dry. We just took off all the paper as soon as we were done. It's not perfect, and that's intentional because I'm going for a weathered look. So this is how it turned out. The last, if you look closely, we forgot to blot off the excess paint in the last toe. So when we dabbed it on the wood, a lot more paint came in. That's why it's a bit smudgy. So overall, it looks good. I'm going to let the paint dry and then set it up in the Porch. As I mentioned earlier, I have kept the hello sign on top of a crate, and to get height I used empty paint cans covered with burlap sheet that I had, a piece of burlap that I had, so you cannot see the paint cans, and then the hello sign is just rested on top of it. And as you can see, this is the close-up of the letters. The paint job is not perfect, but that is totally okay. So I hope you all like the video. It's a pretty simple project to do. Do try it, and you can actually write whatever message you want on it. Welcome, and I've seen, like, even for fall or spring, if you want to sign that's specific for each season. It's pretty simple to do. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe. See you soon.